Yeah. So first off, I want to thank all the subscribers. Appreciate you guys for fucking with me. And it's Saturday, so we're gonna keep it light. So today I want to talk about my opinion of Gustavo Fring for Breaking Bad. Now, if you haven't saw Breaking Bad, or if you're in the middle of it, or Better Call Saul, just want to put it out there right now. Spoiler alert. So Gustavo Fring to me was like, like a businessman, but not like the one people think of, like the ones that, they run a business. And like, I'm talking about the corrupt motherfuckers, man. The real cats, like the cats that kind of run the world. You know what I mean? That's the kind of character he was, where he was very smart, very cunning, and he didn't take at first he didn't take a lot of risk, and so he built an empire because he was patient, very patient. He let others, he watched people, seen what they were up to. Like, he just always wanted to be on top of things. So his patience was something that helped him, and that's like a lot of people, like, that, buy off politicians, or that, you know have legislation, like they back certain things to look a certain way. And that was another thing he did. Like, he was big on philanthropy, so he could look like he's a good guy. He could look like he's part of the community. And often, a lot of fucking scandalous ass, CEOs will do that shit. It's nothing to them to give away money. Like, that's just nothing. They're gonna make that shit back anyway, so they don't trip. And that's the way he was. He would do that shit. But I think the only thing that made him different, and it was his fucking downfall, was his ego. Like, well, not even his ego, because a lot of those motherfuckers have egos, but his need to, like, not look the other way. Like, he had to fucking, like, get square. Like, he had to get even. So to me, I think that was his downfall, especially. Well, that was part of his downfall, but the main fucking downfall was him not listening to him. Like, he wrote it. He wrote his own code. He had his own way that he was dealing with things, and he broke that shit. Uh, when Walter White walked into his restaurant and told him, like, "I know who you are. You stood me up on that meeting." He should have just been like, "I don't know who the fuck you are." Like, what he tried to at first, but then afterwards he had to fucking prove his point. He had to say that Walter White was messing with junkies, which was Jesse Pinkman, and that, like, he had to let it out rather than just saying, like, "Nah, you got the wrong guy, man," and just being, persistent on that, and eventually letting Walt move on. But, like, he had to open his mouth. He had to show, like, "Yeah, I'm that motherfucker you think I am." And what got him pissed off is when Walt said, "You're just like me," and he was like, "I'm nothing like you." And at that point, it was crazy, because he proved Walt's point. He was just like Walt, controlled by his ego. Like, he couldn't let that shit go. And even then, like, when he had the best meth out there, when he had Walt cooking, right? Instead of killing Walt, uh, and letting the quality of the dope, like, decrease a little bit, he was like, "Nah, fuck that shit. We got to keep him. We got to teach fuck, I forgot that guy's name. The Walt side, not Jesse Pinkman. Fuck, the one Jesse killed. I forgot, but they had to you had to fucking, he was a student and shit. You had to teach him all of Walt's techniques so that he could cook. Instead, like, he should have just been more like sometimes he's too patient. You know what I mean? He should have just been like, "You know what? Walt and Jesse are a fucking problem. Like, they gotta go," and that would have been the end of it. He shouldn't even like, honestly, he should not have got involved with them. He already said he doesn't fuck with junkies, and he's seen what it did. Like, so he was more like Walt than he wanted to believe. He was arrogant. He was manipulative, and those weren't working against him at first. But he had a need for vengeance, and that's what fucking got him. And you could tell his need for vengeance in Better Call Saul, the way he like tortures fucking Hector Salamanca. Like it's like, damn fool, like you could have just killed this fool. And he doesn't want to. And there's another when he's talking about I forgot what creature it was, but he captured a creature, kept it alive just so it could suffer and shit. Like, and he said he was gonna do the same thing to Hector. Like all that vengeance like was too fucking much. Like, and I get he's mad, but he could have just killed these motherfuckers. It would have been a lot easier. But because of his pride, because of his vengeance, that was his ultimate downfall. Because if you think about it, who blew him up? Hector Salamanca, helped by Walter White, right? So if he would have just killed Hector when he had the chance, like instead of paying doctors and getting him the best healthcare to keep him alive, if he would have just killed him, he wouldn't have had that fucking like Hector wouldn't have had that bomb. If he would have just killed Walt when he said he was like when he wanted to, he wouldn't have had that shit. Like he could have all the obstacles cleared out, but instead, like his pride was too much. He was like, nah, I need to show these motherfuckers I'm the one. Like, dog, you he had like some issues, real. If you think about it, like if you know who you are, you don't need to prove to anything to anyone. But like he had way too much to prove. So I was just like, damn, like so to me that was always a trip. Whenever he said he's nothing like Walt, I was like, nah, this motherfucker is just like Walt. Like he is. And if it weren't for his vengeance and his pride, I think he'd be way more similar to the CEO types, to the government types that have an extreme amount of power. But because his pride and his vengeance got the best of him, that was his downfall. And yeah, that's my opinion of him. And that's all I gotta say about that. And with that, I'm out. Peace.